The fabric of society. Welcome to a world of textiles. They're all around us, no matter where we go, what we do, how old we are, whether we're male or female, rich or poor. And what's the main ingredient of this world of textiles? Of course, it's fabric. Cottons, silks, wools, linens, not to mention nylon, polyester, and lycra. But where does it all come from? What's it made out of? Nowadays, we have a huge choice of fabrics. We've developed materials that can hold off the rain, or hold off a speeding bullet. Ones that reflect the light, and ones that even create light. Fabrics made out of metals, and fabrics made out of spiders' webs. But before all this high technology, we've had fabrics that cover our bodies, put a roof over our heads, keep us warm at night, going back thousands of years. And a little more recently, even used fabrics to carry us up into the clouds. These traditional fabrics are made out of natural substances that grew in the wild originally and were eventually domesticated and cultivated in farms. Cotton, for example, is made from the cotton wool-like material that occurs naturally around the seed head of a plant called Gossypium. We now just know it as the cotton plant. Linen is made from the rotted down stalks of a flowering plant called flax. And how about silk? This is an amazing substance, which is created by the caterpillar of a moth when it feels ready to start making a cocoon. They squeeze out a liquid which hardens as soon as the air hits it into a thread which they wrap around themselves. The silk farmer then uses the silk from the cocoons to create the yarns and threads that we use to weave into a fabric. Cotton, linen and silk are all natural fabrics. But nowadays we make our own fibres instead of waiting for them to grow. But even with man-made fibres, you still need something to start with, and that something often involves the same raw ingredient as plastic, which is oil. What all these fabrics have in common, whether their fibres were naturally occurring or man-made, is that they are all woven or knitted from continuous threads. These can be very lightweight, like the thread we use to do sewing, or very chunky yarn. From ancient times there have been woven cloths. The Egyptians made linen thousands of years before Christ, spinning thread from the fibres of plants along the Nile. The Anglo-Saxons made woolen cloths and used plants that grew all around them as a basis for some rough sacking-style materials. The Chinese and the Japanese wove intricate stories into the silks of their emperors' kimonos. The Indians of the Americas wove brightly coloured stripes into their cloths for blankets and clothes. Then came knitting. Knitted fabrics are different from woven ones because they are stretchy. At first, of course, all knitted fabrics were made by hand. But now we also have huge industrial machines with very tiny needles to knit together the finest of threads. That's why t-shirts are stretchy. It's because they're made out of knitted fabric. So, whether the fabric is knitted or woven, made out of metal or cotton, plastic, light-emitting fibres or the natural fibres of the flax plant, whether it is heavy or strong, pale, soft, delicate, intricately decorated or rough, tough and indestructible. It is everywhere, and millions of people worldwide make a living in the textiles industry. In pattern design, in modern fabric invention, in weaving factories, in growing raw materials, in processing fibres, cleaning and spinning into threads and yarns, and dyeing wools and cottons, etc. In hand production, arts and crafts, in product design and manufacture that uses fabrics. Like it or loathe it, textiles are part of the fabric of society.